Leicester City 2, Manchester United 2. It was that type of game. It was a game where not any one of the teams went full force attack. Both teams had the same tactical plan, which was to counter-attack. Both teams wanted to counter-attack. Both teams wanted to hit on the break and wanted to nick a goal. Both teams were set out to do that. Both teams are counter-attacking teams. So that's what you saw. It was a game with high quality football. There was no quality football at all. There was a lot of passes. Both teams, especially Leicester, were making a lot of passes, but the passes weren't going anywhere. But if anything, we shaded the game in respects of clear-cut chances. We had much more clear-cut chances than Leicester did. And based on that, we're supposed to win the game. So you have to look at a player like Marcus Rashford. The chances that he missed is unacceptable. You cannot be missing those chances at this level of football. I'm sorry. To miss one chance, you can brush that under the carpet. But he missed 2 golden chances. I know he got a goal. But even the goal that he got was such a simple goal. You and I could have even scored that goal. And then the first chance he missed was a header. That it was easier to score than it was to miss. The harder thing was to miss. And he done that. He missed. Then the second opportunity he got, he put it away. Very simple opportunity. Then the third opportunity he got, which is a runaway with a one-on-one against keeper, and the keeper saved it. That's unacceptable. For him to be missing 2 chances, clear-cut chances, at this level of football, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. And as a result of that, we walk away this game with 1 point where we should have 3 points. So you have to look at Marcus Rashford for his misses. But not only that, that's just Marcus Rashford missing. There was a lot of other players that weren't playing well, that were hiding on the pitch. And I'm going to go through that. But this was a disappointing result for us, because we could have leapfrogged Leicester. We could have leapfrogged Leicester and left them in our shadow. And we didn't do that. And this is a resemblance of the manager that we have, that whenever there's something on the line, he bottles it. His tactic today was counter-attack. That's what he wanted to do, was counter-attack. You look at the way he sets up the team. Very, very negative way. Playing Scott McTominay and Fred when Paul Pogba's been having such a fantastic game. Why play Scott McTominay and Fred? Why start Daniel James? Because you know why? Oli plays the lotto when he does his selections. If something worked the previous game, Oli just hopes that it will work the next game. He doesn't take each and every game into perspective and knowing that next game I'm versing someone different. The next game I'm versing someone different. Therefore, my tactical tweaks, I need to make tactical tweaks based on the opponent that I'm playing. Oli don't do that. Oli just if Oli plays like today, if Oli got the W against Leicester today, and what worked today against Leicester, he'll play the exact same team with the exact same tactical plan against Wolves. That's what he does. That's why we got knocked out of the Champions League, because Oli's so naive like that. These are things he does. So he saw Scott McTominay playing well against Leeds, and he thought that's going to happen again. He saw Daniel James scoring a goal against Leeds, and so he thought Daniel James can do it again. But that's the level of manager that we have. So we have to understand the level of manager that we have. And we have to also understand that you will not hear these type of things from mainstream media. None of them will criticize Oli, because they're all Oli's friends. When Oli got us knocked out of the Champions League group stages, not one of them criticized Oli. Not one of them questioned his tactics in that game and his substitutions. No one done that, because they're all his friends. So it's up to us to have the type of knowledge, or for us also to look at different, come on YouTube and look at different YouTube channels and really get some knowledge from the YouTube channels, because that's where you are going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth from mainstream media, because they're all Oli's friends. They played with Oli, so they never criticize him. But what you saw today, that's Manchester United hoping to get something on the break, hoping to win the game, playing counter-attacking football, nicking the goal, no patterns of play, no system, no rhythm of our play, nothing like that. It's just defend, and when you get the ball after the defensive transition, hope freestyle football from there. Bruno, Martial, Rashford, freestyle football from there. So the way he sets out the team, for me, I did not approve of it. I did not approve. Okay, right back we had no option because Wan-Bissaka, I think, is injured. Not a bad injury, but he's slightly injured. So we had no option there. No problem with that. The back four, I've got no problem with that. Even Luke Shaw playing ahead of Telles, I've got no problem with that. Luke Shaw is the better defender. I've got no problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is the midfield. Playing Scott McTominay and Fred is a very negative midfield. It's a very negative midfield. When Paul Pogba has been so good, over the last couple of games, Paul Pogba has been so good. Why not play Paul Pogba? Don't agree with that. Then you go Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, they have to be in the team, and they are one of our better performers. Daniel James should not even be at Manchester United. Daniel James should not even be in the Premier League. He's not good enough to be at the Premier League. The fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is starting Daniel James, that in and of itself you should sack Ole for. The fact that he bought Daniel James, you should sack him for that. How can you buy a championship player? Then he starts the championship player ahead of players like Mason Greenwood and Cavani, because I know Cavani doesn't play on the right wing, but if you put Cavani as number 9, you can put Rashford on the right. What Ole does do in the second half. So that's the issue there. Daniel James was a rotten decision, and Ole saw that he made a mistake. That's why he took Daniel James off under 50-something minutes for Paul Pogba. And then Anthony Martial, we have to address the Anthony Martial issue, because Anthony Martial currently right now is not playing well. He got his goal the last game. Who was it versing? Oh yeah, it was in the Carabao Cup. In the Carabao Cup against Everton, he got his goal, but that goal put a cover on and a mask over everything, because that goal, Everton at that point in the game was at the end of the game, Everton were just throwing numbers forward. They had no organization because they just needed to score. So that goal came at the end of the game, where the goal even counted for nothing, I would say. It's a goal. It's good that he scored for his confidence, but in the balance of the game, it did not decide the game for us. So, but he's not performing good enough. He's not performing well enough. Like, you look at Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is getting into the number 9 positions more than Anthony Martial. So who's number 9 then? Then the people are saying that, oh no, Anthony Martial's linking up the play well and he's holding up the play well. Your number 9 needs to be scoring goals and needs to be in goal-scoring positions. Point blank, period. We need goals from a number 9. Robert Lewandowski, you don't look at Lewandowski and say, oh no, he's linking the play. No. Robert Lewandowski is scoring goals. Let's not get that twisted. He's banging in the net. And yes, if the player is not scoring, then yes, we need you to obviously link up the play and hold up the play. Yes, when you're not scoring. But Martial today against Leicester, he was poor. There were moments when he had the ball and he was running at the opposition and they got the ball away from him. There were about 2 or 3 moments like that where they got the ball away from him. His performance wasn't good enough. It's not been good enough for a couple of games now. So, really, what I think that Ole needs to start Cavani. Ole needs to start Cavani, put Martial on the left. I'm not saying Martial must go on the bench. No. Put Martial on the left, put Rashford on the right. It's as simple as that. Rashford can play. Rashford can play on the right wing. So that's what we need to do. So I'm not happy with this result against Leicester. The 3 points were there, but we couldn't take our chances. Marcus Rashford couldn't take his chances. Missing one-on-one with keeper, that's unacceptable. And then when you give a player like Vardy doesn't need many chances. Vardy is not like Rashford, he's not like Martial. Vardy needs one chance and the ball's in the back of the net. That's why he's been winning golden boots. So, 2 points dropped, definitely. 2 points dropped. We're versing Wolves in our next game. That's going to be a tough game as well, because Wolves don't come to play football. Wolves come to defend. Wolves don't want to play football. Wolves don't want the football. Wolves want to defend and hit you on the counter-attack. So then again, we're versing a team similar to us. Yeah, but Wolves are not like Leicester. Wolves don't come on the ball. Wolves will surrender the ball to us because Wolves will be happy with 1 point. So you know that we struggle to break down teams that defend low block and teams that give us the ball. So it's going to be difficult. That game, I expect Paul Pogba to start in place of Scott McTominay or Fred. Preferably in place of Scott McTominay, because Fred is better than Scott. But obviously, Ole got a bias. Only got biasm to British players and biasm to academy players. So it is what it is. But I expect to see Paul Pogba starting, and I expect to see Mason Greenwood or Edison Cavani starting, because you cannot be playing Daniel James against a team that has a low block. You cannot do that. So yeah, it is what it is, guys. Goes to player ratings, you know. David De Gea, I'll say he couldn't do much with any of the goals. You know, he made that blunder at the beginning of the game, but he couldn't do much. I'm going to give Dave a 5. I'm going to give him a 5. Not that he was so poor, but I'll give him a 6. He couldn't do anything with the goals, guys. I'll give him a 6. Victor Lindelof, I'll probably give him a 6. Never do too much. Bailly, I'll give him a 6. Maguire, I'll give him a 6. Luke Shaw, I'll give a 6. They never do anything. Scott McTominay, I'll give him a 5. Scott McTominay is poor this game. He didn't do much at all this game. At all, he didn't do much. I saw him wrestling Tillemans. That's the only thing I saw of Scott McTominay, was wrestling Tillemans on the floor. A 5 for Scott. Ndidi bossed that midfield in respects of closing down and being a proper CDM. That's a proper CDM. And Ndidi was the best CDM on the pitch. Ndidi was top class. And that's a CDM United need to be looking at. Wilfred Ndidi is a very good player. Scott McTominay 5, Fred 6. Fred had a good game. A good game. You can even give Fred 7. Let me give Fred 7. Fred had a good game. He was one of our better performers. He was all over the pitch. Fred 7. Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give Marcus Rashford a 6. I'm going to give him a 6. I know he got his goal. If it weren't for his goal, I was going to give him a 5. But I give him a 6 because of the chances that he missed. Unacceptable. If he scored those chances, we are walking away with 3 points. We walk away with 1 point because he missed those chances. I'm going to give him a 6. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him an 8. He was that good. Bruno's excellent. Bruno's one of the best shooters in Europe. Every time Bruno shoots, it goes in the back of the net. His positional play is out. His awareness on the pitch is outstanding. He knows where he is. His angles is outstanding. Whenever he shoots, he knows exactly which angle he needs to shoot at. He knows exactly where he is on the pitch to shoot at the right angle. 8 for Bruno Fernandes. Daniel James a 4. He was the worst player on the pitch. Clearly, you saw that he's a championship footballer. There was a chance where we had a counter-attack where it was 2v1. 2 United players against 1 Leicester player. And Bruno was running with Daniel James. Daniel James had the ball. He couldn't pick up Bruno Fernandes. The Leicester player ended up getting a block in the pass. Daniel James 4. I'd even like to go down, but Daniel James 4, worst player on the pitch. Anthony Martial 5. Not a good performance from him. Then the substitutes, Paul Pogba didn't do much. I'm going to give him a 5. A 6, sorry, a 6. He didn't do much. Edison Cavani, I'm going to give him a 7 for his assist. Very good. 7. Then who came on? Who was it? Twanzebe that came on, I think. Yeah. Never do much. You give him a 6. Never do much. So that's it, guys. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm going to give him a 5. That, for me, that team that he put out wasn't the right team. But that's what he does. He's a poor manager. We've got a poor manager, so these are the things that we just have to live with, you know. A manager that's surviving off of the players' individual brilliance. This is what it is, guys. Let's look forward to the Wolves game. Let's look forward to the next game. So hopefully we can get the 3 points. I'll see you all. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the video. Smash the like on this video. I'll see you all, guys. Ciao.